um shared a video. Let me play your video because your video is like super dope, and I love how you do your videos. So hold on one
Appreciate it.
second, and yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So let me play the video. Here it is right here.
Well, 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 it looks like somebody's in trouble. Now, I've had my suspicions about Kamala Harris's campaign reaching out to content creators to pay them for support, but that's just speculation, right? Well, truth is stranger than fiction because why did I get an email by a company hired by Kamala Harris for a paid influencer partnership? Now, I scratched out the company's name because they're just collateral damage at this point. I have no smoke with them, but the email says, "Hello, Maverick. We're inviting you to an exclusive paid opportunity to use your influence and voice to help us support the Harris Waltz campaign." And the email continues about Kamala Harris being built different, some other pandering shit about black enrollment in healthcare, black small business growth, which are all lies. But get this, it said you'll be compensated for the content you create and share in return for your support.
So if anybody were to watch your content, because I follow you, it's easily understood that you're anti Kamala Harris,
Yeah,
or to a certain degree anti Democrat, and you can speak on that. So it's actually sad for them to know who you are, and because that's the thing. If somebody wanted to pay somebody to say, hey, sell this product, because like I got a product right here. I can go to Maverick and say, hey, if you like the product, advocate for it and you can get some money. So there's nothing wrong with somebody advocating for another person, right? But when you know for a fact the person is anti-Kamala and they're looking to pay you, that right there actually means that you or the person, Kamala's people, are asking you to lie for
yeah,
her.
yeah.
That
And the thing,
part right there. Go ahead.
the thing is, really, it's one or two things. And I said this in the video. One or two things are happening, right? So either they see I'm a black creator and it's like a pre-selected list of all black creators, and they just email blasting everybody, just seeing what sticks. So they're not doing their due diligence on one hand, or they know exactly who I am, because if they did their due diligence, then they would know I'm the person who said that. First of all, I got featured on Forbes, New York Post, MSN, Daily Mail, and about 50 other outlets, exposing Kamala, saying like, I think she cheated during the debate. She was talking like Obama to me. So, that whole earring thing, and that was me.
She
So
had an
that out
earpiece in.
right. So I'm the
I
one
got that
that
from you. Yeah,
exactly. So if they
yeah.
knew that, then it's kind of like, well, maybe we can turncoat him. Maybe we can take this person who is, not so favorable against, a Kamala, then maybe we can turncoat him with some money. So
Mm-hmm.
they emailed the wrong guy. That's what they did. So they got busted. I had my suspicions, but this just confirms it 100%.
So, what where do we go from here? Like, what is y'all's thoughts on that in itself? It happened. What are
Yeah.
y'all's thoughts on that happening? Like, what does that mean? Kamala is wanting influencers that don't agree with her, to start acting like they agree with her. What are y'all's thoughts on
To
the
to
whole procedure of it?
to be honest, I think for one, it just solidifies of how much pandering they're doing to the black vote, for one. Because like, you just think you're gonna throw some money at me. I already make money. I own two tech companies. I don't need your money. I'm good. I
Mm.
do this for really spreading the truth and everything else. But ultimately, you just can't throw money at us and just think we're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm all Kamala now. Like, no, for one, you don't have any policies. You don't stand for anything. All of a sudden, you're this person that we're supposed to just, be America's sweetheart. And it's like, well, you just pushed out Joe Biden. What's democratic about that? Pushing out the
Right.
president, he was running. He thought he was running until he wasn't. He was like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sticking around. I'm sticking around. And
Yep.
then they just ran a whole coup on him, and they were like, no, you're actually not. This is what we running with. We need somebody more radical than you. So we're supposed to rock with that because you're black, which you're not.
Yeah.
So we're not rocking with that. So yeah, they just think that, black people are for sale. And I find it highly offensive. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's from now moving on. I think in politics they shouldn't be allowed to not only pay influencers but pay all these celebrities and whatnot. And we were just talking about this off camera, just saying that I don't think that all these people are really for Kamala, but they're pro Beyonce, they're pro Usher, all these
Mm-hmm.
favorite people who's tap dancing and all the other shit. Okay, well maybe I will vote for Kamala. Yeah, she's for the people because she got Lil Jon and all these other people and long laundry list of everybody else. It's like, well, I don't think that's where are the policies.
Right.
What are we
Right.
talking about?
Right.
What policies are we talking about? I don't care about Usher and everybody else moonwalking across the stage. What does that do for me?
Right. And then on top of that, and I want to go to you, Marge. On top of that, the majority of the people that she has advocating for are all people that are on or allegedly on the Diddy tapes. And that's something that is a little strange. Usher, like Leonardo DiCaprio, like there's a lot of people that are on the Diddy tapes that are out of nowhere just vouching for Kamala, possibly hoping that nothing, something was to get closed up if she gets become the president. But Mars, what's your thoughts?
I think it's par for the course. I think that they're showcasing what a lot of us have said, maybe a lot more quietly, maybe a few years ago. What we've said about, you know, this is not working. There's a lack of policy. There is the policy. Well, it's not a lack of policy. It's lack of policy that's actually productive for our communities.
Right.
And some people have said this for decades at this point. It's no different than we were telling the GOP, meaning urban Americans, told people in the GOP, hey, the system's corrupt. Hey, this ain't really working for us. And a lot of times, for a long time, we heard, oh man, just pull yourself up by the bootstraps. There's no conspiracy. And then Trump gets hit with 34 charges. Then Trump gets hit with the charges in New York, the charges in Atlanta. I mean, pun intended, trumped up charges, but this is stuff that people in the streets and real, actual everyday Americans have been saying for however long. But it's just now coming to fruition. My grandmother used to say, sometimes people got to find out what you already know. And this is
Mm.
what's actually happening here. Those folks that, when we say there has to be a way that they're getting paid, I think that there's more crafty ways of hiding their payments. I think that could be the case. Like for an instance, the email might not come directly from the Biden-Harris administration, but it might come through a company that's a PR company for a company that does a thing. And so this is in alignment with what we all knew. There's far less people that are genuinely, because I'm not gonna say that all actors and entertainers are silly. I think a lot of them do silly things, but I think they have a certain level of intelligence and a skill set. And when you're great at one thing, you have to kind of like practice and pay attention to other things. And you do research, you do study, especially more specifically actors. So they're not stupid. Since they're not stupid in that regard, I think there's far few of them that are actually stupid as opposed to people that are doing it for political favor, people that are doing it for a payment, and those shell companies and PR companies or whatever. And I think that now, because of the internet, I mean, I have one, two, three, four, five iPhones. The access to information is insane. The ability
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
Maverick to get an email and go, nah. And there's going to be more principled people. And some people aren't principled. They just going, I don't rock with y'all, so I just want to 100% expose you. The access to information in this age and the ability for people that are sharp enough to see it, that's a great mixture for liberty and freedom. And I think the
Mhm.
next step, to your question, the next step is for us to keep highlighting why this is contradictory. Everybody should say, what policies do you have and legislation when you were in the office and when you were the Attorney General in California? I mean, you ran San Francisco for a long time. San Francisco is one of the saddest American city stories in the last 70 years that I can think about.
Yes.
It's,
You
it's,
were in
it's worse
charge
than
for
LA.
however many years over there.
It's worse than LA. LA
Yeah.
is terrible right now. And I heard up there, it's not even safe to like walking around the tech companies, people getting
Right.
shanked up and everything. It's crazy.
So
And hold
you
on
have
real
to
quick.
get people
Hold
to be
on, hold on,
loud
hold on.
about that and ask those questions and make those statements and say, and we could even leave out what she did with Willie Brown. We could leave out some of the statements. Even before we get to that, we could go, okay, cool. We're going to let you slide on that. Even if we let you slide on that, okay, cool. You were an adult. He was an adult. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
What have
He was
you done
totally adult.
that I can identify as a win for the community that you say you're, because I mean, when we're specifically talking about her targeting of black communities, right? Okay, what policies did you put in place that was beneficial to the demographic that you're trying to reach out to? And if you can't give me an answer for that, I don't even have to get to your goofy laughing and cackling and all. I don't even have to get to that. That's just the icing on the cake when I feel like laughing at something. But as far as like policy and us being exposed and more people being exposed to this is entertainers being positioned as community leaders, in time we will find out. We will 100% find out that the vast majority of the people that are tap dancing for these people right now, even if it's not as extreme as an Epstein list, as extreme as a Diddy party, at the very base level, we will find out in some time who was getting paid for what. It's the same thing as Act Blue. Y'all thought this BLM money was going towards the community. It was being funneled into Act Blue. It's just a matter of time. So I think that's the next step, is to continue to be louder about it and say, we are going to hold you to a standard of legislation and policy. If you don't have it, you leave yourself open for us to make fun of you and have a laugh at your expense because you're actually not even qualified for this position. And I'm glad that you, listen, I'm not mad at anybody skating through on whatever talent they got or lack thereof. It's actually even more amazing if you have no talent and you're getting into these great positions. I want to take some of that, those pages out of your books. Yeah. So I'm not knocking you for that. But when you now start targeting me and saying I'm racist as the black man because I'm maintaining a standard of what you actually did or did not do, now I got to start going like, okay, since we playing this game, I got to, pull a whole file out. And I think if we pull the file out first, we can see that, this person is it's not a serious person. I think she was, and I'll land here, I think she was much more serious and more cruel when she was younger. Because we got to remember, she's 60 at this point, right? 56 or something like that. Yeah. When she was sharper and more cruel when she was running the show, over there, the head cop over there in California. She was, even in her speech, she was much more succinct. I talked to Judge Joe Brown a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, and he said, he says she has the same thing, the early stages of what President Biden has. He broke it down based on the cackling, the nervous cackle when you can't really understand, and
the word
salad to try to like take the edge off. It's the Nancy Pelosi / Joe Biden energy early. And so we can see that she's not as sharp as she used to be, but I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing, because when you're sharp and you're cruel, now you're trying to clean it up. I think we can look at her past and see that she's just not the person for us. And their actions are showing that to us like damn near twice a week at this point.
Yeah. Go ahead, Maverick.
No, I totally agree. I think that, when she was climbing the ranks, she had to be a lot more vicious. She had to be a lot more conniving. She's a prosecutor, for God's sakes. Like, you already know. She put tons of black men in jail. That is a fact. That is documented. So for her to, all of a sudden, for one, people forget so easily. She said exclusively, I'm not doing anything exclusively for black people. Then all of a sudden, she rolls out this whole plan weeks before election night, talking about, crypto. Matter of fact, let's make weed legal and all that. Wait, hold up. So you're just saying all black men smoke weed? So that's an insult for one. And now you're talking about investments, and we're going to do this and do that and give you loans and they're forgivable. How are you going to give out loans? You don't even know what type of business like they are. Like you're already setting people up for failure. Like there's a process for that. And who's paying for it? Like how are we getting there? Like all these things that you could have done or even could have talked about the last 3.5 years, you didn't. And now you want to pander and now you want to come up with all these magical policies. So, you know, it's funny, really. It's just laughable at this point.
I think it's actually sad and not funny because, in my opinion, if you are not the right candidate to run the country, how dare you attempt to run the country? You know what I'm saying? And I think that right there makes me more angry at this woman because she, forget about what we see, she can see, because she was on an interview with Charlamagne the God, and it was like, and he literally said, what do you think about people saying that you're just not good at articulating your words, you're just giving out all this word salad, and then you say the same thing everywhere you go? She stood on it and said, well, I think it's important for me to say the same thing everywhere I go so everybody will know how consistent I am. But it's stupid stuff. It's incompetent stuff that you keep saying all the time. So she's aware of her level of incompetence, which means that she's aware, you know, because some people are just delusional. Like, what are you talking about? I don't do that. She's like, yeah, I do that. So she's aware that she's stupid to a certain degree, and she is okay with trying to run the country as a stupid person.
This is why she's trying to throw every trick in the book that she thinks is going to work against the black vote, as far as like all these celebrities, endorsements, and everything else, not talking about policies and always deflecting, answering a question with a question, talking about Trump all the time. It's like, how is everything reroute back to Trump when we're talking about you and what your policy? So like, you know what I do to people, like people who are Kamala supporters? I tell them, hey, this is a challenge I issue out to everybody. Tell me one greatest achievement or one great positive thing about her without saying the words black, woman, or Trump. Do that, and I'll give you $100,000 because you can't do it.
You can't.
That's that's the talking points. That's the talking points. She's a woman. Oh, she's black. Oh, she's Trump. Oh, Trump did this. It's like, we're not talking about that.
Let me play this real quick, and then I want to go to you, Mars, because this shit is crazy.
70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office. Donald Trump has been running for office. Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
You've been in office for 3.5 years. You've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
We are fighting for America's future. And we understand the opportunity we have before us.
Nobody, like, he just sits around just blaming Donald Trump. There's a video that literally counted how many times he used Donald Trump's name. And I'm like what you just said, Maverick, makes all the sense in the world, because where is it? This is it right here.
And Donald Trump after Donald Trump said from the Trump campaign, and Trump would say he did. Donald Trump is unconcerned about Donald Trump. Donald Trump's administration, Donald Trump dismissed them, not to mention how Donald Trump had.
So is Kamala doing okay?
So
That's
she was
funny.
just on Club Shay Shay. I don't know if y'all watched that.
Not yet.
She did okay. She wasn't, terrible, because Club Shay Shay gives you an opportunity to just talk, and she likes talking. he didn't ask her any pertinent questions. She just talked, how did you grow up? And of course, I grew up in a middle-class family. So it wasn't bad, as the interview went on. But the second he started actually asking her something close to a pertinent question, she started saying, well, Donald Trump is this, Donald Trump is that. So she still did the same thing again.
Yeah.
You know what it is, though?
Go ahead.
That's a testament to how short attention span and unintelligent the vast majority of Americans that support her are.
Yes.
Because either you're intellectually inconsistent where you won't acknowledge that that's what she's doing, or your focus is Donald Trump too. If your focus is Donald Trump and how horrible he is, and not looking at the contextual situation of a person that's been in the public eye for 40, maybe 50 years at this point, if you're not looking at the pros, the ups and downs and being critical of areas, like, for example, me being a firearms instructor, our work at Black Guns Matter is to make urban areas become stronger with the Second Amendment. I have to be honest that when he was in his term, he wasn't the greatest supporter of the Second Amendment. I know he got the NRA endorsement. The NRA is not a solid Second Amendment organization. I hope they go in a different direction, but even their story is very layered, contextual, and nuanced. My point in saying that is the general public that's unaware of the, you are a slave to legacy media that tells you something and you don't do any type of, let me look at the 98th page on Google to find out maybe I'll get a differing view and switch that around in my brain. Those folks, that works with them. The empty, I was so disappointed to see Don Cheadle. I expect John Legend and his wife to be there.
Right,
and a few other people that I have respect for in their skill set. Mark Ruffalo. These are great actors, but they're still entertainers and actors. But I was just so disappointed to see Don Cheadle there, like arguing and fighting against Trump in a way. And it's like you are literally caught up in media propaganda. And you don't have an individual thought for yourself. Now, mind, I want to be very clear to the people that are watching. I'm a libertarian. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I think that Trump was horrible on the Second Amendment. He said something a few nights ago when he had the conversation about, I think people should get a year in jail for burning a flag. I think if a person bought a flag, it's their personal property, and that's a First Amendment expression that they can do with whatever they want, with whatever. I think that we need to be critical about what the people say as opposed to just attacking the person because we don't like them. That being the case, watching so many people fall victim to this or choose to be a willing participant in this is based on the level of ignorance that the general public has, especially as it relates to civics, as it relates to the political process outside of national elections. So some of this is our fault as Americans. We are literally just walking around basing our political choices on our feelings and propaganda. And if it works, listen, if I was a supervillain, I'd do it too. Because if y'all not gonna, the fact that it's even, and there's some question around if it's even working, right? Because media is very powerful. But if it is working to the extent outside of where they cheat in elections, if it is working at anywhere over a 10% margin, there's a problem with our information and our ability to process information. And that is the problem that I'm looking at, like, okay, y'all are wild. This person, man, I was getting on, and I think I'm going to pick on him next because I think he's a contradiction and kind of cowardly. My son, I think you're kind of cowardly. I think you're cowardly because you say these interesting things about being for the Black community and all of this other stuff. And I asked a very simple question. Where was all of the pro-Black people, in alignment with Cornel West, who's been running for office since before Kamala was going to be the person? But you folks say that you're so pro-Black in these things. And I think you people are a lot smarter than what you lean on to be. And so the cowardly role is to just go with this safe approach and say, oh, I'm getting behind the Black woman, as if this Black woman is not the top cop or has not been the top cop. Huge shouts to Killer Mike, who's another buddy of mine, that said, I would never vote for a prosecutor because you're a fucking prosecutor. You were just on the other side of the thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just can't. And me and my household, we're voting for public servants and defenders. We're just not going to do it. And I just find it very interesting. Either you're ignorant, caught up in media propaganda, or you're fully aware of these things, pretending like you're for Black people, as if there's not a black man that had his candidacy up before. Then they'll say, oh, well, he couldn't have won. Well, maybe since you're so pro-black, maybe if you would have gotten behind this person, maybe you would have helped them win. So I just see this weird spiral of people that are too stupid, people that know better but are manipulative, and almost low-key taking advantage of the general public that could be informed better and would make different political decisions. But they just kind of like want to like tell them like, oh, Democrat and woman, black woman means good, almost painting other strong men more specifically as chauvinist, racist, or as the other sister was saying, narcissist, because we're thinking logically about our political choices because we understand how important they are. For me to give you a job, a vote to do this job, I have to see your resume. And if your resume is trash, it's not that I don't like you as a black person, white person, Asian person, whatever. It just means you're trash at this job. And I just think that it's very, very insulting and almost damn near like sacrilegious in a space where an individual vote is supposed to mean so much more. And those people that would take advantage of the people that way, I just think it's a lot of cowardly shit going on. I think my son is one of those people. I think that Plies is one of those people.
What about
I think
Tamika
that
Mallory?
D.L. Hughley is one of those people. I think that
What do you think about Tamika Mallory? I don't know where she is, but I had a problem with her years ago where she was in the forefront, her and my son, and I was like, okay, that's what's up, because my last name is Mallory. That's what's up. And all of a sudden, she signed a contract with Cadillac and was on a commercial dancing for Cadillac, and after that, she just disappeared. I have no idea where she is, so I don't want to say nothing. I don't know, but
I think she's doing a podcast with my son. And
okay.
these are the things that, and again, these are not personal attacks on these individuals as humans. I want to be very respectful of your platform and everybody else.
Yeah.
This is me critiquing their ideas, ideology, and if I thought they were just stupid, I wouldn't hold them to a specific standard. But I think they know better. And I think that it's convenient to just say, oh, we getting behind the black woman. First of all, the black man was running for office before the black woman was even thought of. And most of these people had no idea. Most people thought it was going to be Gavin Newsom. So, I think it's just super disingenuous and intellectually inconsistent. And I think it's dangerous to do that because you're leading people astray. Now, I don't believe in coercion. You as an individual should do your own, looking into things and making those decisions. But I'm not giving those people, letting them off the hook. But at the same time, I just think that when you present as community activists and for the people, and you do the exact opposite while attempting to lie on and lambast someone that before he ran for office, and I know this is a cliche talking point, before he ran for office, he was unequivocally loved in the black community for building stuff. And, I just think it's really, really corny and tacky. And it's like, I thought the hip hop generation was going to be the generation of rebels, and you're advocating for all of this shit that's in alignment with the machine. Wake up. Like this is just kind of whack to me. And so I apologize for my rant, but it's just all connected with the silly.
No,
silliness.
You're spot on.
I just want people to be louder about it than call it. Like, just because this person went to jail for whatever reason and he wears a hat that says sold not for sale, or if she says, Beyonce gave her a shout out in a song, I don't give a shit about that. I don't care. I care about if you're actually an activist and you actually want to lead the people in a good way, you should always be leading with your objectivity and your truth, and you should be translating that and not pretending to be something that you're not.
No, that's spot on. I agree with that because, again, what's happening right now, like, for one, we're in the age of information, right? People are getting smarter and stupider at the same time. People are not doing their research because all the information is there. It's too easy to get to, right? We have these devices in our hands. It's a remote control to our world. You can find out anything in a split second. Yeah. People are not doing the research even more because they're taking it for granted, right? And the people who are doing the research, unfortunately, a lot of people, like he said, are using it for evil. They're manipulating people. They're leading people astray. like obviously, like we already know that, Kamala, as far as at least my opinion, isn't the one. We already know. She's not elected, she was selected, right?
Mhm.
So we already know what that is. But to come up with all these different talking points on why we should vote for her, and then try to attach that and crowbar these racial things. Oh, black woman. Well, hold on. She's not the first black person. For one, we had Obama, which is a whole nother can of worms. But
Yeah.
Jesse Jackson, he ran in 84 and 88. And
Oh,
guess who funded his campaigns twice? Trump. So a lot of people don't
yeah.
know that. So these are the things
Yeah.
that people really don't know, and all these other talking points like, oh, Republicans are racist and everything else. Well, the Republican Party was actually founded by anti-slavery activists.
Right.
So again, all these things people do not know. It's called research. And when we have AI and everything else, what is happening right now is people are getting smarter and stupider at the same time. And it's a dangerous landscape for, like you said, manipulation, for, feeding the agenda and everything else, because that's what's happening right now. Like the gap is getting wider. Not only the wealth gap is getting wider and wider, but it's the intellectual information gap as well,
Right.
because of what's happening with how fast information is moving right now. And you got to debunk a lot of stuff. And you're watching TV, and I don't even own a TV. Like I don't watch any of that shit. And the only reason I
You
watch
know,
movies,
TV is crazy. That's
I
what's
don't own a
up.
TV. I don't watch
That's,
TV. It's a waste of time. I don't watch sports. I used to be the biggest Laker fan. That's just a waste of time, bro. I don't care about a bunch of millionaires running up and down the court. What does that do for me? Cheering for a team I don't own. What does that do? Like, let's start, really having some real conversations, have some critical thinking. And again, a lot of people forget that these people work for us. These are public servants. We are way too overgoverned right now.
Right.
Like why do we have? I agree with Trump with destroying the Department of Education. People were like, "Oh,
I agree.
how could
Yes.
you do that? How could you do that?" Well, they only fund 3% of public schools in America, for one, and then two, that's $230 billion that we can move somewhere else. Why do we have 4,000 people in one organization? That's way too big of a agency right there. We can use that for infrastructure, technology. We can trades, because like we got to really like.
Oh shit! What happened to him? Oh, here he goes. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Most of the things that we've learned, it doesn't. Nothing has in the past, especially voting Democrat for the past 50, 60 years, has done shit for especially black people. But what you learned in school, if the board of education is so great, then why do we have, when I was in high school, why do we have books from the 70s?
See, let me say something to. I'm glad you brought school up. I personally think school is stupid past 8th grade, because nobody, I went to aircraft mechanics, like my vocational school, right? And that was very helpful. But anything between, I would say, the 9th grade and aircraft mechanics, I didn't learn, I didn't need, and it didn't help me do anything, right? So I think the Department of Education needs to go, because I actually pulled up a picture of a classroom in 1910. I just tried to go as far back as I could. I could have went back to 18 something. It probably would have been there. I just picked a number. So in 1910, classrooms look exactly like they look now, So in 2024, for us to be spending, or for kids to be spending 18 years in school is the dumbest shit in the world. Because at the end of the day, I think it's important for parents to teach their children how to read, grammar, how to count, multiplication, division, all that shit, and let the parent be responsible for the child instead of the school system being responsible for the child. And if the parent does not teach their children properly, something goes wrong with the parent, right? instead of it being the school system, because at the end of the day, it's up to us to raise and educate our own children. And then
Well,
at the same
where the education system actually came from, right? And why it was created.
the Rothschilds.
Well, even before that, they used it in Europe to indoctrinate the kids for wars. So
yeah, it's an indoctrination camp.
Yeah. And then the Rockefeller said, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. And,
Yeah.
and why does schools resemble prisons so much? Like a principal is a warden. You know what I'm saying? Like when you
Have y'all ever been in a prison before?
No, I have not.
So
prison?
A prison, not to prison, inside of a prison.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
inside one.
Yeah, I've been inside of a prison too.
Yeah.
Doesn't a prison and the lunchroom look exactly like school without the lockers?
100%. And the food source actually is the same food source that they have for kids in high schools is for prison as well.
Yeah, it's the same
It's the
food.
same thing.
I've never been to prison, but I went to prisons to teach the inmates on how to let go of what happened to them, or who snitched on them, or how they feel about the outside world, you know, viewing them as bad people or whatever. And I spent 12 hours in a prison just hanging out with them, you know, playing spades, just talking to them or whatever, doing classes, going to lunch with them or whatever. And I was like, yo, I literally, minus the girls, I was like, this feels like school. I literally we was just minus girls, because wasn't no girls, but other than that, I had fun. Like, yo, this is like, I felt like I was back in high school. I'm dead serious, minus the girls.
Yep.
And it was like, this is nuts. And I'm not saying prison is fun to be, but it reminded me so much about high school and middle school, where it literally everything in the prison, minus of course the doors, you know, the metal doors, everything reminded me of school.
That's the reason why they try to make the prison pipeline situation so seamless, and then highlight when people are or try to deny people that are highlighting that symbiotic relationship. All of this is connected. If we making money off a prison system, if we making money and that prison pipeline situation is happening, and you have someone like a Kamala Harris who was locking parents up if the children were being truant because the children are separated. This is just so ironic that these are the same people advocating for her that recognize that there are problems with our schooling. For decades, this was a serious component of the Black community and Black so-called activists. And I say so-called not to disparage actual activism. I say that because some of these people are pretending like they active in the community. But nonetheless, unequivocally, we've said that these communities have had horrible education systems. We know that there's a prison, school to prison pipeline. We know that. Then when Trump says, I think, which is libertarians have been saying this forever. Hey, man, I think we should get rid of the Department of Education. It's horrible. We dropped from 1 to 40 seconds since it was created. So let's kind of not do it. Now, all of a sudden, you see these same type of people that advocate for Kamala now are advocating for the school system. Is the school trash or not? We know that it's trash. And since we know that it's trash, let's not do it. Now we're talking, and more people are waking up. My daughter's homeschooled. The Black community is the largest new growing homeschool group in America because we have to do something about it. My point in saying all of this is, it's just so interesting when you step back from the elephant and see how all of these things are connected. This same Kamala Harris locked up parents, laughed about it because they wanted federal funding, wanted to lock up parents. If the child is not okay with school, the child becomes truant, and now we go arrest the parent, they get locked up, they lose their job. These are things that she said. So all of these things are tied together in conjunction with, if you practice some sort of entrepreneurial endeavor, let's say you're selling weed, a vast majority of people in California prisons for nonviolent, cannabis possession. Now, let's say you do escape all of that, then you get whatever other type of entrepreneurial endeavor this same administration or the Kamala Harris is advocating for, a 45.6% capital gains tax. Capital gains to 45.6%.
Which would
so now we
destroy
want to
the
keep
middle
you
class.
enslaved in school when you were young. We want to lock your parents up if your parents don't want to let you out of there. Right? We want to lock you up for not sending your children to us in our school to prison pipeline. If you sell some weed in a non-violent, aggressive situation, we want to send you to jail for that. They're still dangling the carrot of we might decriminalize cannabis after they made all of the prison's money for locking people up for this nonviolent possession. Then when you say, I know these things and I don't want to support this person, now we want to call you sexist. It is so amazing when you can sit back and look at it and go, oh man, on every single level, you trying to box us in.
Yes.
When we can make logical assessments of what is happening. And it's tying, the irony is, we're talking about Kamala Harris, but by and large, it's been the vast majority of Democrat politicians. And this is not me saying it as if I'm trying to be mean to people that identify as Democrat. We have to sit back and look at that policy and legislation, which, to Maverick's point, when I get you talking about Beyonce, or get you talking about Eminem, or get you thinking that this is the thing, that's a subterfuge. That's an open subversive movement to make me not pay attention to, oh, your policies have been actually horrible for our communities. And we have said it. We have historically said it. They don't care about us. By and large, America, everybody that's listening to this, by and large, leftist propaganda in America is involved or controls all of the area or the vast majority of the areas of human activity: education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war. These are mostly dominated by leftist policy. Right. So at what point are we going to not, if you want to be the rebel, if you want to be the rabble rouser, you got to not keep supporting the exact same machine. We got Pearl Jam and Rage Against the Machine advocating Eminem. Think about this, guys. This machine is so powerful that they will co-opt all of the people that were supposed to be the rebels in the culture war, because politics is downstream from the culture. So I just, again, pardon my rant, y'all, because I'm about to get out of here real quick because I got another interview in a couple of seconds. But I just want everybody watching the channel to really pay attention and tap into what these brothers are saying and sharing with you. It is not a attack on femininity. It is not an attack on, black folk. It is not this step and fetch it. They'll say, Uncle Tom, because they didn't read the book. Uncle Tom didn't sell out in the book, but nonetheless, it is not a Sambo and Kiambo situation. It is if we want black people, I'm pro-black as hell. I'm as heaven. That's a better way of saying it.
Yes.
This is not about self-hate. This is about self-love and letting you see how many areas you have been flanked on. Your food, like your water. There's stories coming out. Leftist politicians, we all talk about Flint, Michigan, who still got messed up water, but that's just the small scope. There's a study that came out not long ago that proved that fluoride in the water has over time been lowering the IQ of the babies. This ain't, and these
Did you hear about Bill Gates?
In leftist politicians' worlds. And so I just want you all to make sure that you subscribe, to the channel. Make sure you follow Maverick and the gentlemen and ladies that show up on these platforms, because they might be packaged to you as the villains, when in reality, the people that you think are heroes might be the people that's feeding you to the wolves. So, I'll land my plane there.
And let me say this. One, everybody watching, make sure to hit the like button, and all of our followings are in the chat right now. So everybody follow the person that you're not following, or everybody subscribe to the channel that you're not subscribed to. All right. Yeah. So Mavericks people, subscribe to our channel. Like Marge's people, subscribe to our channel. My people, subscribe to their channel. So right now, everybody take a second and subscribe to the other person's channels that you do not subscribe to already. So I don't know if y'all noticed, but I talked a lot about Diddy, right? And
Wait,
it's
wait, wait.
not.
Before you
Go ahead.
start, I'm gonna dip out, y'all, because I got to get ready for this next joint in like 4 minutes.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
but thank y'all so much, man. Hey, Maverick, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna already,
Appreciate it.
obviously, Mr. Let Go, we already connected.
Yes, sir.
Guys, if you got any value from what we're talking about today, support the work. We fundraising. We have a community center. We teach firearm safety, conflict resolution. We have a civics class. Please, everybody, follow me. Shoot me a DM right now. I'm in the next 3 or 4 minutes. I might be on a show, but givesendgo.com/solutionary. Support the work. This person right here says, I will not follow these losers at all. It's always the losers that say loser shit like that.
Yo,
I appreciate y'all, man, for tapping in. I'll talk to y'all in a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. Let them do what they do. Let them do what they do. I love it. It's all engagement. Y'all got to understand the engagement is going to be an engagement.
Yeah.
But shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm gonna tap in for sure.
All
right. So before we keep going, let's do a quick commercial. Got to pay these bills, or my own bills. So be right back, y'all. Will help every woman watching. I just came up with a solution that will help every woman watching, regardless of age, regardless of background. See, in my 7 years of coaching women, the number one thing that I hear in my coaching sessions is her issue or tumultuous relationship with her mother. So what I've done is come out with a card game that will actually help mothers and daughters come back together. We have to get to the source of a woman's pain, her inadequacies, her insecurities, and heal that little girl inside of her before she goes out in the world as a woman. I call Like Mother, Like Daughter therapy in a box. Therapy in a box is 50 questions for the daughter to ask the mother, questions that you always wanted to ask. And it's also 50 questions for the mother to ask the daughter. But when you're able to ask the questions that you always wanted to ask to your mother without her getting upset, without her pulling rank on you, the lines of communication are now open. When women are finally able to forgive their mother, forgive their father, forgive what happened to them, and most importantly, hear her mother's side of the story that she never divulged to you, relationships outside of the household would then blossom. Because for most women, there's a hurt little girl inside of her that never had an opportunity to be seen or heard. All of the resentment, the lack of being heard, but all that stops when you buy my new Like Mother, Like Daughter card game. Order it now. The link is under this video. Click the link and let's start healing. And for everybody that either knows about my mother-daughter card game or doesn't know about my mother-daughter card game, this card game has been in pre-order form for about a month. The card game is on the way to my house and I'm shipping them out either this evening, they haven't gotten here yet, or tomorrow, whenever the card games get here. All right. With all that being said, the day the card games get here, the price will go to $200. $200. So at this moment, because the card games have not been shipped to my house yet, you still can get my card game for only $62. So the card games may show up at my door right now or tomorrow. So if you have not bought my mother-daughter card game, get it now for $62, because when they get to my house and I'm able to show one, it's going to be $200. So everybody click the link in the chat, or click the link that is pinned at the top of the chat, or click the link under this video and get your mother-daughter card game. If you're a woman, or if you know of a woman that has had or has a tumultuous relationship with her mother, make sure to get this card game. And it's only $62 now. But when the card game gets here, it's going to be $200. So everybody click the link, at least check it out, see what you think, and get your card game while it's only $62. All right. So overall, I want to come back because there's a lot of people that didn't hear you talk about the specific reason why me and you decided to do this show. Can you explain to everybody, to the people who weren't here earlier, about how Kamala Harris, with knowledge that you are against Kamala Harris, tried to pay you to be on her side?
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
we'll go here.
In short, I got an email a few days ago, And I couldn't believe it. I thought it was fake at first, but it's a legit email. It's a company that was hired by the Harris Walz campaign, and they wanted to do a paid partnership program with me, and they wanted to have me create content in exchange for their support. So it was laid out. I posted it on my Instagram and made a whole video about it. It went crazy viral, and it's everywhere. So I had my suspicions. I was speculating because I know the streamer Kai came out, I think it was like a month or two ago, saying they reached out to him. He said, no, I'm not in politics. I'm like, maybe that was cap, maybe not. And I heard a few other content creators and influencers say that as well. And I was like, well, you know, it could be, could not be. They could be trying to get clicks. But then when it happened to me, I'm like, oh, this is real. This is really happening. Like, they're reaching out to creators, especially Black creators, to pay them for their endorsement. Right. So it's crazy because it's just like they're not doing their due diligence, because again, I'm the person who cracked open the whole, I guess, conspiracy about her debate and her cheating and having the audio earrings and all that. Like, it was posted on MSN and Forbes and New York Post, Daily Mail, Yahoo. It was on everywhere. So if they'd have knew that, if they're doing their due diligence, they probably wouldn't have emailed me, or they were just trying to, you know, flip me and turncoat me to where, I think the latter, because they, especially New York Post, they didn't feature any other creators. It was just me. It was just me about my page. They featured my video on the front page of New York Post. It was on their YouTube. It was on their front page. It was on every social media that they had on their platforms. So they know who I am. So I find that very funny that, you know, I get an email directly towards me saying, hey, we need your leading voice in this Black community to be, you know, a supporter of the Harris campaign. I'm like, this is crazy. So, I think they knew who I was. They tried to turncoat me.
Yeah. One Wish says, Miss and Let Go, where can I send you a cash gift? Cash App is right up under this video, so I appreciate you. Cash App is $AARON 1000, and I also put it in the chat. But yeah, let me ask you this, and I already know what you're gonna say. If she paid Beyonce, allegedly paid her $10 million, she has a huge budget.
Yeah.
What price could she pay you to vouch for her and tell your following to vote for her?
She can pay me $0. No amount of money. Maverick's not for sale, guys. So if you're another politician or something else I don't stand for, or some other bullshit product that makes people sick and everything else, I'm good. I don't promote anything I don't believe in. So I just can't do it. That's what my following is built off of. And I feel like there's enough soul selling. Like, we've seen enough of that. It's time for a change. We can't really, you know, when people really saying they standing on business and everything else, it's like, no, you're not. Like, you got to really stand on it, because when a check comes, 5, 10, 20 million, are you still standing on business? Are you standing on that check? Are you standing on the floor of a bank to go cash that check? Like, you gotta really see, you know, who's standing on business and who's not. So that's what I'm doing.
She pays me 10 million. I'm selling everybody out. Vote for Kamala. She's a woman. And if you don't vote for her, you don't like Black women. Shit.
Oh, man. Hey, you being honest. You like, hey, we can shut all this shit down. I'm 10 million, right. I'm out.
I wouldn't even be on YouTube no more.
The page gone and everything. It's
so
done.
This is what I would do though. I would be like, okay. I would just get off YouTube and be like, all right, look, if y'all want to vote for Kamala, I'm not gonna be mad at you. But I'm telling y'all now, y'all ain't gonna see me no more, and I ain't gonna tell y'all why. But if y'all want to go vote for Kamala, I'm not mad at you. And I'm gone. That's what I would do. I wouldn't be like, vote for Kamala because I believe in her. I'd be like, yo, if y'all because I'm not vouching for Trump. I never
Mhm.
said I'm voting for Trump. I
Mhm.
just don't
Mhm.
like Kamala because I think she's an idiot. But
Right.
if you paid me $10 million, would I think you're less of an idiot? Yeah. But
Yeah.
I would somewhat have the same mindset, and but I would craft it in a way where it's like, if you vote for Kamala, I'm not mad. I wouldn't say vote for Kamala because I'm voting for her. I would
Mhm.
say something in a way of, I'm not going to tell you not to vote for her.
Right.
Because guess what? That's how I feel now. I'm not mad at anybody for vote for Kamala. If anybody wants to vote for Kamala, vote for Kamala.
Yeah, that's their right. That's this freedom of
Right.
speech. You can vote for whoever you want. That's what I say. I
So
just
yeah,
bring
I would
light
have
to
$10 million in the bank, and I would literally say the same thing that I say now, just a tad bit on this side versus that side. But I wouldn't change how I feel and believe, because right now I don't care who votes for Kamala. So I would just say, I don't care if you vote for Kamala.
Yeah. And you know what's funny too? A lot of people were saying what to do. They were like, man, you should have just took the money and then just did the opposite anyways. Just say what you're gonna say and just dupe her. I'm like, yeah, I could have did that, but then I'm pretty sure.
You get sued.
Yeah, I get sued.
Yeah, you don't want no problems like that. But yeah, but if you give me some money and like 10, I know they wouldn't give me no $10 million, but if they gave me like 500,000 or something, Kamala, like, you got 12 days, like 500,000. I'll shut it down until the election is over.
Okay.
I will.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, I'll come back after the election is over. I wouldn't make no more Kamala videos. You know what I'm saying? I'll make my logo blue. I'll do something.
Yeah, you do the whole
but I'm not
thing.
gonna be telling everybody vote for Kamala Harris because I'm voting for Kamala Harris, because now I'm a liar.
Yeah.
But I would, I wear a blue shirt and just sit here and talk about Diddy.
And that's the thing they were asking me to do. They're asking me to straight up just lie. That's what they're doing.
That either.
Like, I can't do that. I can't compromise, who I am, what I stand for, what I built my audience off of. That it goes against what everything, I stand for. People will be in my DMs like crazy, like, yo, what are you doing? Like, imagine if I was doing that and I'm the guy who exposed her about the debate and everything else, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, they got him. They got him.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing they got with Usher, because remember on Usher, he went on The View and he was like, I'm not getting into politics.
I'm not getting into politics.
The next week, what happened?
Because them Diddy tapes came out.
Them tapes came out. All of a sudden, they started dangling. Hey, you better vote. You better vote for Kamala. You better tell everybody else to do the same, because we got these tapes and everything else. He's deleting tweets left and right. So now all of a sudden,
that man deleted his whole Twitter. Did he delete everything on his Twitter?
He deleted everything. This is what happened. I did a whole deep dive on this. So he deleted his Twitter, right? He got hacked. Quote unquote.
Yeah, right.
By a crypto scammer, right? But I brought up a point. Why would you delete all your feed, just leaving the crypto stuff up, right? If you want to make it more legit, wouldn't you just keep the stuff up? Wouldn't a hacker do this? Keep all the threads, all the tweets from before up there to make it look legit, and then have the crypto stuff up there. But you delete everything else except for the crypto stuff? That makes no sense. That doesn't look legit. That doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, I got hacked, you guys. Y'all better chill. It's like, come on. All of a sudden, after Diddy gets indicted?
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, because everybody has their price. And like I said, I would just, I would probably scam her out of her money because I don't like her. So I would definitely take the money and, because the thing about it is, if Mrs. Word Salad paid me a bunch of money to get on her side, I would word salad my way of keeping my integrity and getting the money. I would word salad the shit out of. I just wouldn't say. So, are you going to vote? That people in the chat, are you going to vote for Kamala? Well, I'll just say this: I grew up in a middle class family. I'll just say some shit like that.
You'll go way back. It all started when I was a kid.
It all started when I first got on YouTube, and I was talking about Kevin Samuels or some shit, and I would take her money, receive her money. Hell yeah, I'll take the money. Shit, I
Yeah.
word salad my ass off. Shit and
Yeah.
meat. I'm taking the money.
Yeah, she
Shit.
raised, I think she raised, if I'm not mistaken, her whole entire campaign, I think close to $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like,
so Kamala, if you're watching, you know what I'm saying, just hit me up. I got you.
he looking for the check, yeah. He already told you. He
Yeah.
already told you.
I word salad my ass off. I start talking about Bill Cosby, just random shit. Yeah, she
Yeah.
does it. Why I can't do it?
She answers questions with a question. Like,
Yeah. So I want to go back to the school system, right? But I
Mhm.
want to play this video right here first and then come back because the school system part is important to me. I want to play this part right here. This is hilarious.
Okay.
Obligation to be a part of that decision.
You might think it's not important. You might think you're not important, but that's not true.
And the only way we can prove that to you is by having lots of famous people.
Lots of famous people.
Lots and lots of famous people.
Just a shit ton of famous people.
But you only get this many famous people together if the issue's
one that truly matters to all of us.
A disease or
ecological crisis or
a racist, abusive coward who could permanently damage the fabric of our society.
Do the math. Do we really want to give nuclear weapons to a man whose signature move is fire?
Do you hear this shit?
This shit is crazy.
Firing things?
You're fired.
But we can end this nightmare before it begins.
We're living in a nightmare as we speak, and you talk about before it ends. But here's the thing I want to play too. This shit is hilarious.
Cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way.
So you not going to give me the job just because I'm black?
Okay, first
This is how black women treat us because we're not voting for this woman.
of all, you just walked into the room, so the interview hasn't started. Second of all, your race has nothing to do with you getting this job. And third of all, hello. Why don't you have a seat? I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Oh, so you gonna grill me just because I'm black?
I'm not going to grill you. I'm just going to ask you some questions since this is an interview. Under your name, you have written anonymous.
A black woman can't be named anonymous?
Under date of birth, I see you have written H.
Oh, okay. So a black woman can't be born on a letter.
What skills do you have?
Oh, I see. A black woman can't be skillless.
Man.
And this is what black women do. The second we vote or having a different opinion that a black woman has, it's you hate black women.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, it's because she's black. You know what I'm saying? And she's not even black.
She's
but
not.
go ahead.
She's not. So for one, this is what I was talking about. I actually have a YouTube video I'm about to drop today. I took to the streets and asked people like Kamala, Trump, gave me reasons why not, and everything else. Yeah. And I made a point to where democracy, and I was telling people, I was like, hey, is Trump, a threat to our democracy? They're like, absolutely, absolutely. And I was saying this actually to some black women. And I was like, well, you do know that we're actually in a republic. We're not in a democracy. I was like, do you know the Pledge of Allegiance? Yeah, I think so. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic. For which it stands. They're like, oh, I was like, yeah, we're actually in a republic. So yes. Our process is democratic, and being in a democracy is dangerous because it's mob rules, right? The majority wins. Mm-hmm. So if 10 people were in a room, all say, there's 10 people in a room and 7 of them say, hey, we all got to jump off a bridge. We all gonna fly, y'all, because we're gonna jump off the bridge. And the other 3 people are like, yo, this is insane. Yeah, but majority rules, we all got to do it. How does that make sense?
That don't make no
Everybody's
sense.
Gonna die. Like that's what we're living in. So majority rules instead of a republic, which is, hey, we select elected officials that work for us, that represent us equally. That's what a republic is. We all have an equal voice to select somebody to represent us, to enforce and take care of us. Yeah. To enforce laws and everything else that we see fit. It's not majority mob rules type of shit. So that's what we're living in. So this whole mentality of like, oh yeah, if you're not voting for Kamala, then you hate black women and everything else. Well, for one, she's not black. 2, we have this mob mentality now to where now we're demonizing black men for not voting for her. I thought that's I thought democracy was about fairness and everything else. Well, none of this is fair. They literally threw out the current president. What is democratic about that? Well,
And
actually, it is. Actually, it is because it is mob rules. It's majority
mob rules.
Hey, let's get him out because we want her to run now. So that's what we're looking at. So when they demonize us, oh yeah, and they use the race card and all that shit. It's like, well, yeah, you're not black if you don't vote for, Kamala, or even Biden said it himself. You're not black.
Biden said the same thing.
He said the same thing. How come nobody's up in arms?
Yeah. And it's just sad how, like, it's the weaponization of blackness. It's the weaponization of womanhood. Like, they weaponize everything against men when we just have an opinion about something.
Yeah, you know what's bullshit? Like, when they say toxic masculinity, no, there's just a such thing as masculinity. That's it. There's nothing toxic about it. So when they attach other words to it, now they can kind of sway the public opinion because they created this one word, toxic masculinity, to be like, oh, if you're masculine, now you're toxic. It's like, well,
what about toxic femininity?
Yeah, it's just called being a man. That's what it is. And all of a sudden, we're moving the goalposts and saying there's toxic masculinity now because, oh, y'all just don't want a woman president. No, I just don't want her. It has to do with her specifically. There's other well-competent women that could be president. It's not her though.
And her being a woman would have something to do with it because I don't want to have a woman president. So she
I don't
would
either.
actually, right. So she would actually have to be an extremely, like something like a superhero type of person for me to turn around and say, okay, I want a woman to be the president. So yes, it is because she's a woman. I just want to be real and say that on the record because I'm not going to run from that. I don't want no damn woman being no damn president. And
the thing is too, we got to check the climate, right? The global climate right now. If you think about it, if we have a woman president at this stage, especially her, we have Kim Jong-un, we have Putin, we got Xi Jinping, super masculine, presidents of these countries that we gotta go and not have beef with and go negotiate things. If she's going on behalf of America,
she can't negotiate with nobody. She ain't got no brain,
bro. The fact that she went over there and tried to in I think it was Munich, right before the Ukraine war popped off, and she was negotiating things, and she came back and a war started. That was because of her.
It was because of her.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if we go into another 4 years of that, we're gonna have beef with everybody. And it's gonna be way up at that point.
And that's my biggest issue because to the women who actually are voting for Kamala, I'm not mad at you because you're a woman. If I was a woman, I'd be running around doing dumb shit too. I'm a woman. It is what it is. It's women just, if you just look at just overall as women make terrible decisions in men.
Yeah. I think that when it comes to high pressure situations and making logical decisions for a whole country, can't be emotional at all.
Can't be emotional
at all.
Yeah. So women make emotional decisions and is usually at their detriment, right? So women can get mad at me or anybody saying, oh, you're a misogynist. You can call it whatever you want. I do not want a woman making decisions on the behalf of me ever, because women make emotional decisions. Y'all are terrible pickers of men. Y'all are terrible decision makers. The majority of black women just black women in particular, not even white women, the majority of black women are single mothers. So y'all make terrible decisions. And I will say the majority of the men that y'all have babies by, y'all hate y'all decisions. If y'all can reverse time, you would do it because you made a terrible decision. And on top of that, getting into the reproductive stuff, that's the main reason why women want to vote for this dumbass woman. Why? Because of women's terrible decisions. What's up, Mo Easy? So think about this. There's an assumption, which is not true, that Trump is going to get rid of reproduction, rights and all this stuff, right? It's not true.
And I hate when they say that, like, he's taking away my reproductive rights. Well, actually, reproductive is to reproduce. It's like you're trying to do the exact opposite.
They want to do the opposite. So yeah.
And it's funny that they say that. Like, you got to follow the word tracking, right? So like, he's trying to take away this. Like, no, you're trying to take away a life.
You're trying to take away. So the thing about it is, because women are terrible decision makers, they want to vote for the president that will help them fix their bad decisions, which is reversing their stupid ass decision of having a baby with a dude that she don't want to have a baby with. So if y'all think about that, y'all are terrible decision makers, and y'all are making a decision to vote for the person that will help you fix your terrible decision making, which is getting an abortion whenever you goddamn feel like it. 2-for-1 abortion vouchers. No, we're not doing that, ma'am. You are going to have to be accountable for your own goddamn decisions. So the next time you're in the bed with your legs up in the air, you're going to be like, oh shit, I need to make sure I know what I'm doing, or make sure this dude got on a condom, because Trump is going to be president and I can't be running around doing stupid shit like I'm used to. So yeah, all of this shows women exactly how terrible of decision makers y'all are. Y'all want to vote for the person that will let you reverse your bad decision making.
And that's the thing. If you really bring up like their policies and the points that they're trying to make, they're really trying to divide. They're not unifying. It's like, when it comes to sex, when it comes to race, when it comes to all these different things that they quote unquote are bringing people together, but all this divisiveness is coming from their side. Think about this. They had not one, but 2 assassination attempts on Trump, but he's a dangerous one?
Yes.
How does that make sense?
Yeah. The abortion stuff is divisive.
Right.
I want you to think about that. That's divisive. That is anti-God. That is anti-human,
No accountability.
No accountability. Y'all running around saying stupid shit like they're trying to take our reproductive rights away. And like you said, getting an abortion is the opposite of reproductive rights. An abortion, or getting an abortion, is a service, not a right.
Yeah.
So what actually is happening is women know that they're terrible at making decisions. So they're like, we need this service in every city or every wherever, because we know we're going to do some stupid shit, right? But it's a service. It's not a right. Nobody's taking away your ability to have a baby. You are actually taking away your ability to have a baby.
Right.
Because I looked this up, the average woman getting an abortion has gotten an abortion before. So you're going to mess up your body with all these goddamn abortions to the point where you can't even have no goddamn kids when it's time you have some kids. So you are taking away your own reproductive rights.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, like that's a whole misconception too, that he wants to take it away. He just wants to send it back to the states. So if you don't agree with your state, move to another state and then deal with it there. But like, he doesn't want to take that away. He wants to take his hands off the wheel, as it should be. Like, I think that, yes, certain laws are legal in certain places and certain laws are illegal. So certain activities are illegal. Yeah. So yeah, send it back to the states, because it's a touchy subject. And I think that, cool, you want to move to a state that where it's legal, cool, go there. Just like how weed is legal in California and other places, but it's illegal in Georgia and other places. Same thing. If you want weed that bad, okay, move to Colorado. Go to California. So it's kind of the same concept.
So back to the school stuff. What are your thoughts about Trump getting rid of the Board of Education and everybody being upset about that, and they think that's a terrible thing?
I think it's great. I think it's amazing. I think that, for one, again, we're in the age of information, but people aren't doing their research. People are getting dumber and smarter at the same time because information is at their fingertips and they're taking it for granted. So if you do your research, the Department of Education only funds 3% of public schools. And then let me ask you this. If the Department of Education is so great, right? We have billions of dollars allocated for it annually, $238 billion. Okay, cool. So our school system should be amazing, right? You would think so. Then why is only 35% of kids in school can read at grade level or above? 35%.
35% of kids can read at school level
or above. So that means most kids can't read at grade level.
Yes.
And why do we have old ass books? Like, when I was in high school and in middle school and everything else, I had books from the 70s and 80s. I can look in the book where the student signed what year with their name. And I was like, damn, look at this. This is from 1982. The same books from way back then. Where's the funding? Where's the funding going? So again, when, talking about the funding and everything else, we have kids that can't read. We got old ass books. We got 3% that only goes to public schools. And we have over almost 4,000 employees in one department. Why do we need all these people? It's way too overgoverned. Like, what are these people doing? Our kids can't read at all.
This is what I think could actually happen, because I don't run around saying the word should. That would be helpful to everybody. School stops at 9th grade. Everybody goes to school, and you actually graduate from school in the 9th grade, and then you pick a vocational school to go to, and you learn how to work on cars, work on trucks, diesel mechanics, aircraft mechanics, YouTube school, social media school. Then they start paying people like us to teach young people how to be social media influencers, how to teach young people how to deal with crazy comments, or getting blocked, or getting kicked off a platform without being upset or crying about it, or whatever, how to make money. And then there's a tax school, learn how to, either do taxes or learn how to understand taxes,
They don't teach you any of that.
Yeah, because after the 8th grade, everything is just there's no reason for you to, all the geometry mess or whatever. If you want to learn how to be a carpenter and learn geometry, go to the geometry school,
Yeah.
So next thing you know, everybody outside, because the thing about it is 8th graders can just now go out and get jobs because they can get on YouTube. Imagine if you started your YouTube channel back when you were like 14.
Yeah.
You would have like 3 million subscribers by now, right?
Yeah. And that's
getting young people into the social media world, if that's what they choose to do as kids. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
And no, it's a great point, because the things that we should be learning wasn't taught in school when it comes to finance, balancing a checkbook, taxes. None of this stuff was in school, right?
Right.
So now we're in the digital age, content creation and social media influencers. It's a real thing. It's not some fad that's just going away. I know people making 6 and 7 figures just off of TikTok and YouTube. Easy, right? So and that's the thing too. Like, if you look at the landscape, I just saw a study the other day. Content creators right now, there is almost 30 million content creators in America right now, and 44% of them are full-time.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening right now. So when we have these outlets to where you can monetize and brand yourself, you can start a social media marketing company, you can have classes and do all this stuff, because that's what I do. I teach social media. Also, I've been in real estate for 12 years, blockchain technology, all these different things I teach, and through my influence in my classes. So it's like going to school all over again.
Yeah.
Right. It's I call it the universe. Anything you want to learn, I call it the University of YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube and
You can learn
TikTok.
anything on YouTube. Yeah.
Anything. And that's where we're at right now. So like when we have these schools and we have the Department of Education, it's like, for one, all these people are way overpaid. It's too many employees. None of the funding is actually going to the schools.
Or either overpaid or underpaid. Yeah.
Right. The teachers are underpaid and they're not teaching the stuff that you're going out into the world that actually you can use. So what are you going to school for? And I'm not saying don't go to school, just drop out.
I say drop out.
He said drop out.
If you're past the 8th grade, drop out and get on YouTube. I will go on record. I don't care. You can clip this up and put it on Spiritual Word or whatever. Miss Elect Go says, if you are past the 8th grade, drop out of school and get on YouTube.
Yeah, and figure out a skill.
You're not going to learn shit after the 8th grade. Get on YouTube and learn some type of something to teach, experiences or whatever, or just get on YouTube and learn how to do something for 2 years, and then go on YouTube and teach the shit that you learn from YouTube.
Yeah,
drop out of school.
Or you can even take it a step further and make it even easier. Make a faceless automated YouTube channel with AI.
Right.
That's like all these tools are there. So like I do agree to a certain degree. Like, after 8th, maybe 9th grade, they ain't shit you gonna learn.
Drop out of school.
And if you're trying to go to college, forget about it. College is a scam. 100% college is a scam. So I have to go to school, get in debt, and then go get a job to pay for that debt. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? So like you're digging yourself into a grave as soon as you get out of college. So and that's the thing. A lot of these jobs don't even require a bachelor's or anything else now. They're lowering the bar.
If you just think about Kamala Harris right now, right? If she was to take a speech class instead of going to the hello stupid HBCU, learning nothing, because apparently she didn't learn nothing because she's an idiot. She would have went to speech class and learned how to actually articulate her words, she would probably win this presidential election. But she wasted all her time in college. If she would have went to speech school instead of college, she would actually win the election. So the thing about it is, and I'm just going to say this, if any of you are going to college or any of you are in college, you're probably stupid. Probably.
You're wasting your time.
Because I don't know who you are, what you're taking up or whatever. I don't care if you're going to school to be a doctor. I make more money than some doctors do. Do you think you make more money than some doctors do, Maverick?
Do I? Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's 2 people on this live that possibly, because it depends on what the doctor does,
right?
Possibly make more money than doctors. And I ain't been in no goddamn college. Do you have education?
I finished high school and I went to college I'm a college dropout. So I went to college dropout. Good. I went to college. By the time I was in my second year, I was already making 6 figures with my real estate company. I'm like, the fuck do I need this for? I'm dropping out.
What I needed this for? Yeah.
Like I was
That's
gone.
What I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So that at that point I was like, okay, I know more than the professors because I learned everything online. I learned most of the shit I know after school. So it didn't make sense to get in debt and everything else. Thank God I wasn't in debt. I used a bunch of grants and stuff, but I was like, okay, well, I have my own real estate company, already making good money. So why do I need this? Okay, I'm out.
Right. So I want to ask y'all a question in the chat. Everybody watching in the chat, I want to ask y'all a question. Yes or no? Do you think school is stupid for kids after the 8th grade? And do you think college is stupid for young adults? Yes or no? Just in the chat right now, say yes or no, or you can explain how you feel. Do you think we're out of line by saying that school is stupid? So the question is school stupid? Yes or no? And
somebody said yes.
Yeah.
Somebody else said yes.
So everybody in the chat, because I want to make sure we're not crazy. Yes or no? Everybody in the chat watching, everybody watching. Yes or no? Is school stupid? Yes or no? And if you want to explain why it is, you can also. But I want to see yeses and nos. Let's go. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Mr. Lego, did I hear you say drop out of school at the 8th grade and teach YouTube? No, learn YouTube, not teach YouTube, learn YouTube. Yes, get on YouTube. And yes, I did say that. So Sandra, if you have a son or a daughter that is in the 8th grade, let him drop out of school and get on YouTube. I'm telling you now, school is simply an indoctrination camp. I'll say it again. School is literally an indoctrination camp. If you want to continue to have some type of love for your child without losing your child to the world or the drugs or the gangs or the single motherhood, get your child out of school as soon as possible. Because where do you think the girl is meeting all the boys at? In school. Where do you think the boy is sleeping with girls at? In school. Take that away from them. Put their ass in a room and say, get on YouTube, learn whatever it is that you want to learn, and I'm going to check on you. And while you're doing that, I'm going to learn how to teach you how to make money on YouTube. So once you've learned whatever it is that you learned on YouTube, I'm going to teach you how to make money and how to set up StreamYard and how to build an audience, because I'm over here as a parent learning how to do all that shit. And your ass going to get on YouTube. You was not going to go to 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. No, that's 4 years of your goddamn life wasted. No way, no hell.
And college, I mean, and high school is nothing but preparation for college. Like those last 3 or 4 years, those are after, like you said, even the 9th grade, those are preparation. You know why? Because think about it. I know people who failed 10th, 11th, and then they made up for it in the 12th and they still passed and got to graduate. How does that make sense? So you get to fail the whole time. Yeah, you get to fail the whole time, and then you just pass the 12th grade and then you get to move on. How does that make sense? And then now I can go to college and everything else, because it doesn't matter. And that's the thing.
It doesn't matter because they want your money. They want to put you in debt. Go ahead.
And that's the thing. Like when I tell everybody to reskill, they better do it like yesterday, because AI is here and it's projected to take 87 million jobs away. So if you're not reskilling and using these tools, your job is gone. I know people are already losing their job to automation right now. So and AI is going to create 97 million jobs. Now the jobs are shifting. So if you're not reskilling and using these digital tools and everything else, digital content creation, AI and everything else, you're going to be left behind.
Yeah. So let's do this. Rudy says yes. One Wish says no. Melissa says yes. And the question was, do you think school is stupid? All right. Melissa says yes, school is stupid. Rhonda says yes, school is. Oh, One Wish says yes, you are out of. Oh, okay. One Wish said no. Okay. Felicia says yes. Tanaya says yes, school is stupid. Yes. I want y'all to see this. All these people, you are 100% right. I see school as full of politics. All these people are saying school is stupid. So if anybody is in here saying like, oh my God, what are you talking about? These people are agreeing with me. School is stupid. So if you are in school, it's a possibility that regardless of what age you are, you may be stupid, whether you're an adult or whether you're 16 years old. Some of y'all may be stupid because y'all are in school, and school is going to make you more stupid by staying. I'm just being real.
And I'll bring up the facts again, because like we got to go to receipts and everything else. If school isn't stupid, then why is 35% of kids reading at grade level? And that's it. Right. So that means everybody else cannot read. So if you're in a school system and you're not able to read, then who's really stupid? Are you stupid by staying there?
The thing about it is, the high school teachers are they don't like the students because
overworked
they don't
and underpaid.
They overworked and underpaid. They just dare to collect the check, you know. And to be honest with you, the teacher is stupid. Because why go to a job that you don't like and you're not even doing your job properly? You're just trying to collect the check. And these are people's children that you're in front of. So a lot of these teachers are stupid for actually having that job. Go do something that you can, because I can't say go do something you like doing because people got to pay the bills, right? But think about how stupid teachers are. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to say this. Think about how stupid teachers are. You're underpaid as hell. You got to do all these lesson plans and stay behind and all this other shit. And you don't even like these little badass little kids. And all the kids are fucking. So the thing about it is the kids are getting more ass than you, and you sitting here got to deal with all this shit. Like, you're stupid.
Well, now you got teachers, especially the women teachers.
Students.
Yeah.
So the students are stupid and the teachers are stupid. Like, everybody need to stop all this stupid shit and go learn a skill and get good at it and teach other people at it. Because that's the thing. You can teach people how to do something on YouTube. So it's not just being a YouTuber. You can be a teacher and get on YouTube. You can teach classes. If you are a good teacher, get on YouTube and start a homeschooling channel.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, how stupid can you be? You're a teacher not getting paid shit, and you can actually get on YouTube and get paid to be a teacher and run a homeschooling class on YouTube.
And then have the whole world tune into you instead of that one little classroom.
Instead of that one little classroom.
Yeah,
You're
it's about
stupid.
reach. Yeah,
Teachers,
it's about the reach.
y'all
Yeah,
are stupid. Yeah.
and we have all these tools. That I go back to it because, again, I'm in technology and everything else. I teach blockchain, all these different things, all these different tools that we have. And if you are still stuck in that job, that 9 to 5, whether it be a teacher or anything else that's brick and mortar, that's just part of the old system that doesn't work anymore, and you still there, if you're not reskilling, yes, you are stupid. You are stupid because you're choosing to be stupid. You're choosing to be there at that point. We have all these tools. It's probably the easiest time to make money and gain an audience and do whatever you need to do. You don't have to even be a creator. Just use the tools at your disposal. That's all you got to do.
Drive no Uber if you need to make some extra money. If in the process of trying to wean your way off of this slavery, as in having a job and shit, drive a Uber, drive a Postmates or whatever, and part time until you build up your audience and start making some money, because you got Twitch, you got TikTok, you got YouTube, you got Instagram, you got Snapchat. And it's so many avenues for you to make money on your own. But if you just rather just be stupid and just work at a underpaying and overworking job like a teacher, you get what you deserve. Because I do not think teachers should get paid more money. Let they stupid ass stay in them badass schools and deal with whatever else they want to deal with. Because like you said, it's a choice. Your dumbass do not need to be teaching them dumbass kids. Let the parents deal with them dumbass kids instead of you. But if you decide to stay, there's possibility that you're stupid. Yeah, I don't want to say everybody is stupid.
Yeah, and again, it just comes down to doing your research. Again, we have everything. Everybody knows everything at this point. It's all at our fingertips. There's no excuse not to know something. So when it comes to information, you should know how to get out of that situation when it comes to, okay, what tools can I use to elevate my skills, right? How can I reach more people? What tools can make my life easier? We have everything. AI can build you websites. They can write you a marketing plan.
ChatGPT.
Write you a book, become an author.
Become an author.
All these different things that you have at your disposal right now. Like, even if you want to do TikTok, they're paying well. I made $1,200 off one video. So that shows you, if you can consistently do that, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah, I have car games. I make a lot of money off my car games.
Which I got to check that out for sure. I'm gonna definitely tap in with that. For sure.
Oh yeah. Like I got a mother-daughter card game being shipped to my house either today or tomorrow. They're gonna be $200 a card game. These are $35 a card game. So yeah, I'm killing it out here. I'm doing my thing.
I
And
love
you
that.
know, I wish somebody would tell me to get and it's nothing wrong with having a job, but it's something wrong with going to school. I just want to say that. It's nothing wrong with having a job, but it's something wrong with going to school. If your ass in school, something wrong with your ass. You know.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. The sooner you can learn the basics, math and English and everything else, learn how to read, learn how to count, add, subtract, multiply, divide, and all that stuff. You know,
That's
and
it.
then learn the Constitution. That's like know what system you're in. A lot of people
learn
don't
about the
even know
human
that.
brain.
Learn about psychology. Learn about
Psychology.
Learn about health because you only have one body. Everything I do is preventative. I don't believe in going to hospitals and everything else because I believe if you take care of your body and really do what you're supposed to be doing health-wise, you never need to see a doctor. Okay?
Guess what? I beat cancer in 3 months.
How'd you do it?
Got to pay for it.
Okay. Because I know. I was gonna ask you because I know. Because there's things out there you can take. Because even my uncle beat cancer, and he did it within a few months as well. It's all in the food, and it's all in your diet. So I mean, put it this way: if Pfizer has been in business for 175 years and hasn't cured a damn thing, do you see a problem with that? That means they're not in the health industry; they're in the distribution industry. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
So you got to really look at the things that's around you.
And this is the sad thing about the world that we are in. And I personally understand it. Okay. I'm not the person that's going to be crying if somebody dies. Of course, a family member dies. Of course, I'm going to be sad. Right. But at the end of the day, like, I don't want my kids to be crying if I die. I want my kids to be being like, yo, my dad, he did his thing while he was alive. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my kids, because death, all this stuff is actually supposed to happen. You know, so from a government standpoint, not from a God standpoint, the government wants you to die. And this is the reason why. The day you are no longer helpful to the actual system of, you know, cooking the fries and fixing the potholes and all this shit, the government does not want you to continue to live, because you are no longer, you can't fix a pothole no more. You too old, or you too feeble, or you too sick. They want you to die. So they poison the food. They give you a disease through the food, right? And next thing you know, you either are going to die off, which is a good thing to them, or either you now have to spend all of your Social Security money or whatever money you got saved up on Big Pharma to keep you alive.
Right. And to the point of that, it's all connected, because why do you guys think it's called the Food and Drug Administration? Because it's all connected. They feed you the food, which is the poison, and then they give you the drugs to keep you long enough just alive to feed the system. And then when you're not, like he said, conducive to the whole system, then you're out.
Yeah,
that's
you
what
can
it
no longer
is.
be a teacher, can no longer. But the thing about it is, and this is the God honest truth, when I started just all this stuff that I'm doing now and that you're doing, I used to look at motivational speakers, right? Damn, I can't think of no motivational speakers, but all these different motivational speakers. Name motivational speaker.
Tony Robbins.
All these motivational speakers, I would just watch them just over and over and over again. One of the people that I absolutely love is Alan Watts, right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
All these dudes was old as hell, right? And they would have all these views on YouTube, and they would have all this big old audience or whatever, right? And the main thing I paid attention to was not their words, it's the fact that they old as hell. I'm like, yo, I could be old as hell and just stand in front of a bunch of people and get them to pay me money. This was before YouTube, not before YouTube was invented, but before I thought about YouTube.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to learn how to be motivational or inspirational or educational or not confrontational, but I'm going to be that. And now I can be old as hell and still make a bunch of money. I ain't got to worry about Social Security and all this shit, because if I get good at this while I'm young, I'm going to be very good at this when I'm old.
Yep.
And I'm going to have a bigger audience, and I'm just going to walk around or stand around on somebody's stage or my own platform, talking my shit, sitting in my chair in my house like I'm doing now, and not sitting in traffic, going to nobody's job, worrying about somebody firing me. I'm going to have so much more knowledge and wisdom when I'm old, because I've been doing this for so long and nobody can fire me.
Right.
I literally said that to myself like 6 years ago. I'm like, yo, I can do this shit until I'm 80.
Yeah.
Just sitting on my ass talking or stand on somebody's stage talking. Y'all think about that. But go ahead.
No, you're right. I mean, you're being independent at that point, to where you're not relying on a job, because I've seen people work for a job 30, 40 years. And then at the end, I don't know if you saw this video, this dude had no pension at the end. Mm-hmm. And I think I don't know if he was a trucker or something, but that's what I mean. You're a number on the board. They don't care. Yeah. They're only caring about their bottom line. So if you're thinking that this job loves you, if you think that this job really cares about you, oh, you've been here for 20, 30, 40 years. Oh, you're so great. But then they can cut you because they're right. That's what's happening right now. Mm-hmm. Massive layoffs are happening right now, at the highest level. Intel, Google, look it up. They're cutting thousands of jobs right now. So that's the telltale sign to, okay, maybe I should get independent. Maybe I should reskill, because if not, you're going to be a casualty. You're going to be a statistic. Mm-hmm. Point blank, period. And, when you're looking at these people, and even like to where, how you said, like these motivational speakers and everything else, and they charge a ton of money. Cool. Get your money, whatever else. I always say, though, when it comes to that, like, if you don't know what they're really selling, then you're probably the product. Because when they're doing these motivational speaking, and I can teach you how to get money and all these gurus and everything else, like, this is why I have a program. Mm-hmm. It's literally $1 a month. It's $1 a month because I'm like, okay, I can feed you knowledge and build a community and everything else. And I'm not selling something to where I got to sell it. Now, some things I will sell if it's a class. Yeah, it might be a few $100s, and everything else. But building a community, okay, $1 a month, $9 a month, whatever. But I feel like when you're in that space and people are trying to teach you how to make money, then it's like, okay, well, why would this person go out of their way and, try to teach me how to make money when they're making tens of millions of dollars anyway? Well, you're probably the product. And no knock to them. Cool, do it, whatever. But you got to really realize, okay, well, maybe I should be in a position to where I can do the same thing. And whatever you charge, you charge. I don't care. But at least be in that position, because that's a great position to be in. To be like, okay, well, let me teach something. Let me be in a position of power. Let me command my own day, instead of having these 9-to-5s who really don't give a damn about you. So
I want to say this, Maverick, do you know that because we both know how to speak and we've been on social media or whatever, and we can articulate ourselves, do you know if somehow they snatched you up and said they need you to run against Kamala and Trump, if there was enough time, because it's only 12 days, do you know you will win? Because neither one of them really can actually articulate themselves as well as we can.
You're right.
You would win.
That's true. And I feel like Trump is slightly better at it, but not much. Not much. Mm-hmm.
But we're better than them, is what I'm saying, because of
100%. 100%. Yeah. We can go circles around them all day. Yeah. Like, you put me in a room, especially with her, you put me in a room with her, she'll get ate up. Quick.
Yeah, we'll call them old. We'll call them. They don't know what the hell they doing. Like they got dementia. We young. They don't know what they doing. Like we are. You know what I'm saying? And then we have man, please. So, but that's what I'm saying. And I'm talking to the people and their kids. Put your kids on YouTube. Put yourself on YouTube. Learn how to build an audience. Learn how to articulate yourself better. Learn how to teach somebody something. Learn how to create a product where you and your kids can actually, when I pass away, my kids, the first thing my kids going to do is go on my YouTube channel and be like, my daddy just got hit by a bus. He dead. I need y'all to buy his card games if y'all love him.
Yeah, that's it.
And
Because
they're going to make all the money because I'm dead.
And think about it. This is what they do. This is what all these major brands do. They sell into you guys. So why wouldn't you become a seller? I don't want to be a buyer. There's no way I want to be a consumer. I want to be a producer. I want to be able to create something, pass it down, sell it, and that's the end of the story. Yeah. They're doing it to you. So why wouldn't you do what the same people who are making billions of dollars do? I'm following the money.
Do you know Kevin Samuels? His channel is still running, right? Kevin Samuels didn't come up with a product. Do you know how much money his kid, or I think he had a daughter or something? Do you know how much money she would still be making if he would have came out with a product and had a YouTube channel?
Yeah,
exactly. And just throw the commercial and just go on there and say, hey, I'm Kevin Samuels' daughter and blah 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 blah. And if you loved him, buy this product, buy his product that he created. And here's some more. All you got to do is order more products.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like not setting yourself up is the worst thing you can do because you're hating your future self. That's what it is. You're digging yourself in a bigger hole for your kids, for your legacy. Like if you don't have something to sell, you're going to be the one buying.
You're going to be the one buying, right? Because the thing about it is YouTube is cool. But I look at YouTube as a platform to sell my products, not a platform to make content. Puts me in front of people to sell my products. Globally, I'm cool with getting a YouTube check, but I don't care about that YouTube check. I need my products being sold, and I need email lists. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that is going to feed my kids. And not just me. You know what I'm saying? By the time I'm 80, my ass still gonna be on YouTube, and I'm gonna have like 8 million subscribers and shit, and I'm gonna have a whole array of card games, and I'm gonna kill over, and my kids gonna jump on here and be like, boom, I've been watching my dad for so long, boom, let's go. And they're gonna keep going and selling my products with my 8 million followers and shit, and they're gonna be able to feed their kids off of me.
There you go. Legacy. That's all it's about. It's all about legacy. This is why right now I have 2 books out right now. If you go to maverickapproach.com, my books are on there. So I'm an author. I also have a blockchain company with real estate, combining real estate with blockchain. That's something I can pass down. I also have a streaming service. I'm a part owner in a streaming service.
Really?
So yes.
Okay.
If you look up Conspired TV, conspired.tv, that's my streaming service. And I did a partnership with Look Who TV, which is a bigger streaming service that gives creators their own OTT platforms. So I'm part owner in a streaming service as well. So all these things are tangible items that can build and pass down. It's about legacy. If you're not doing that, you will be a buyer.
Yes. So I don't want to hold you too long, but if you want to hang out, you can. I got a whole stream of videos. I'm finna make fun of Kamala Harris, dumbass, saying a whole bunch of dumbass shit. And if you want to still hang out and laugh with me, and
no, I wish I could. My phone's about to die, actually.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm on like 5%.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
But yo, let everybody know where they can find you at. And do you have a YouTube channel? You said you do have one, right?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So if you go to YouTube, just search up Maverick Approach. It's at Maverick Approach on YouTube. Same thing on IG. It's Maverick Approach. You can find me on X, same thing, or it's actually on X. It's Mav Approach, MAVE. And then, go to maverickapproach.com. Everything's on there. I have my books on there. I have wellness on there. I have preparedness for, societal collapse when shit hits the fan. I got stuff that you actually need. All these different tools that you actually need that school doesn't teach you. I have all these things. So make sure you guys go check that out, and then go to conspired.tv. That's my streaming service.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So thank you so much for pulling up, man. This was a very informed live, like, because y'all know more about politics than I do. I just think Kamala Harris is an idiot, but I don't know a lot about politics. So I appreciate y'all for coming on and just like bringing your level of intellect. So I really appreciate you, and we got to do this again.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me know. I got to get you on my show too. I appreciate it.
Let me know. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
brother. Have a good one.
All right.
All right.
All right, y'all. So it's time for the mess. So everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. And to the new people watching that came from everybody else's channel, drop your city in the chat so I can get to know y'all, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. If you are already still watching and you don't subscribe to my channel. And we are about to get to the mess. Let's go, because this is how we do it over here.
70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden.
Drop popcorn emojis in the chat, y'all. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat. We about to have some fun.
70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office. Donald Trump has been running for office. Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
You've been in office for 3.5 years. You've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
We are fighting for America's future. And we understand the opportunity we have before us to turn the page on the fear.
Poor baby. Poor baby. Look, she can't do nothing but sit there and smile. Like, this shit is pathetic.
If he is elected, it's all good. It's all good.
And as you can see under the video, it says Bill Gates, y'all already know who that is, has donated allegedly $50 million to Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. And, you know, he, in my opinion, is the devil.
I don't understand how we got so toxic.
Wait, come on. But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I mean, we're having a conversation.
Hey.
Hold up. Hold on a minute.
No, you hold up. Get out the face.
Listen, everybody.
No.
Hey, y'all up there, pay attention. Here's what happened.
You pay attention.
I can't vote for a party that is for all kind of sexual perversions. I can't do it. I I can't vote for a party that's going to accept transgenders going into women's restrooms. I can't do it. I can't go with a party that says you can be a boy today and a girl tomorrow. I can't follow a party that wants to sexualize our children in school, put drag queens in front of them, reading them little children's stories. I can't do it.
This election is literally about heterosexual men and the LGBTQ community. See, black women in particular love for black men to be softer, gayer, and more passive. Why? Because our women are hell bent on overtaking black men in the social hierarchy. They feel like there's this beautiful opportunity for it to happen to vote for an incoherent black woman. We have all experienced living under a matriarchy already. We don't need Kamala to be the president because guess what? The majority of black families are ran by women. So at the end of the day, we don't need to see what Kamala can do and to be up under a matriarchy. All of us have been for all our lives. Nobody wants to live under that shit. The majority of black people are maladaptive, emotionally inept, and overall dysfunctional, male and female. Y'all love to sit here and say men lack ambition, but guess what? These niggas was raised by women. So what do you expect?
One of the main reasons that I want to vote for Kamala this November is I believe that trans kids' rights are human rights, and I want more gender-affirming care and therapy for those kids. It's time to take them to the doctor and get surgery. I know that with a Harris-Walz ticket, they're going to protect that child from the parents.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Up at a coffee shop and play. Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Fellas, buy this card game. Ladies, buy this card game. Buy about 2 or 3 card games. The main reason why people can't stay together isn't because they don't like each other no more. It's actually because their present family issues come up or their past family issues come up. But when you play Deeper Discussions, you'll be able to understand a person's family issues up front.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun.
Question number 1. Name a time when money was the main factor why a relationship went bad.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
And just like I said earlier, to those who already know about my mother-daughter card game, just know that the cards are going to be here in a few hours or a few days, depending on when the shipment gets here, which means if you still want this discount, which is $62, make sure to click the link under this video, click the link that is in the chat, and buy your mother-daughter card game. But this card game, which is my Deeper Discussions card game, is $35. But if you want the mother-daughter card game, make sure to purchase it ASAP, because once the shipment gets here, the price is going up to $200. Keep that in mind. $200 versus $62. You might want to get the $62 because when it gets here, it's going to go up to $200. Just wanted to say that. Click the link in the chat. Click the link in the chat. Let's get back to these videos.
Don't tell me I need to protect women's health care if your only form of women's health care is abortion.
Hey, Jenny, did you do your chores today?
Well, I grew up in a middle-class family.
I grew up in a middle-class household. We were renters.
Jenny, did you finish your schoolwork yet?
I grew up in a middle-class family.
I grew up a middle-class kid.
Jenny, I thought I told you to take out the dog.
Well, I grew up in a middle-class family. Don't you just love fried chicken?
We talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people. What are 1 or 2 specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid.
I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policies?
Everybody hit the like button, 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 hit the like button.
Positions changed.
I grew up a middle-class kid, raised by a hardworking mother.
When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
I was raised as a middle-class kid.
What can be unburdened.
I won't play that part.
Trying to create a sense of fear in the voters because he actually has no plan in this election that is about focusing on the needs of the American people.
The other side's got a lot of crazy endorsements. Swift, Eminem, Leo DiCaprio, Beyonce.
What's up, Nicole?
Every day the Democratic Party looks more and more like a P. Diddy party. Like a P. Diddy party. Like a P. Diddy party.
You say this in Hollywood and all of a sudden you ain't got a job. Problem is, I don't need one.
Bring 100 million votes to this man. You send this finger to the elites.
This message is for Beyonce. Beyonce, we don't give a damn about you. We don't give a damn about how many speeches you read from a teleprompter, how many rituals you do, or what kind of voodoo you do. Texas will forever be a red state. It will forever be a red state and will always be a red state. I don't give a fuck what you do. And for you to come out here and try to finesse the black vote for a politician who don't even have no plans for your community goes to show us how much you care about your own people. What you need to be worried about is P. Diddy. What you need to be worried about is Jeff Epstein. What you need to be worried about is Jaguar Wright. What you need to be worried about is Aaliyah. What you need to be worried about is God. And you need to repent and not worry about where our vote is going. We don't care about you, Beyonce. Bye, Beyonce. Because you got God's answer too, not us.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way.
So you not gonna give me the job just because I'm black?
Okay, first of all, you just walked into the room, so the interview hasn't started. Second of all, your race has nothing to do with you getting this job. And third of all, hello. Why don't you have a seat? I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Oh, so you gonna grill me just because I'm black?
I'm not going to grill you. I'm just going to ask you some questions since this is an interview. Under your name, you have written anonymous.
A black woman can't be named anonymous?
Under date of birth, I see you have written H.
Oh, okay. So a black woman can't be born on a letter.
What skills do you have?
Oh, I see. A black woman can't be skillless.
Skillless? That's not a word.
Okay, then. So you're not gonna hire me because I'm black?
I am going to hire you because I am federally obligated to hire a black woman. When can you start?
Do you realize that Kamala Harris literally does the same thing we do to y'all when you catch us cheating? Or when you ask her where we were last night? We do the exact same thing. And you want this person to be your president? Because the biggest narcissist between the two people is actually Kamala Harris, because she is lying by using incoherent jargon to pull away from the actual conversation that is at hand.
Do you think she just incoherent, or she a high-level Sith Lord that's doing a drunken monkey?
She's incoherent. I think actually she has a mental illness. So, well, this is the problem with and I'm just going to say it.
Shit.
Let's
cut it. Next
now,
question.
y'all love to sit here and talk about degrees so damn much. Having degrees don't mean nothing. And let me explain why. Because I got to say this shit. Black women love to sit here and say, oh, I got 8 degrees. You still broke. I got 8 degrees. You still can't find a job. So it shows y'all, black women, that having a degree don't mean a goddamn thing because you got 4 kids by 5 baby daddies. So what does that mean? Wait. Because this is what school simply is. Comprehension and repetition. And if you're good at reading something, remembering it, and reverberating it, you can get whatever degree that you want. And you got a damn degree. That doesn't mean you're not stupid. Some people can be stupid and have a bunch of degrees.
Mr. Let It Go is about to get the channel deleted. Appreciate it. We may never come back, guys.
I need you to watch this video and I need your advice. I'm a mother of a 24-year-old handsome black male who lives down the south.
Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the like button.
I live up north, but he grew up in a very, you can call it liberal household. My household has always, including my husband, he grew up with a man in the household, a male role model. Both of us are educated. We've always advocated and been activists for the rights of marginalized and oppressed people, to include.
Thank you, Nicole. That was a great conversation.
People, Black, brown, Muslim, Asian, people with disabilities, LGBTQIA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We've talked about rights. As we have a nonprofit. We do lots of things in the community that supports the politics and the policies of Vice President Kamala Harris. I even remember the day that Barack Obama won the election in 2008, and my son was 8 years old. And the very next day, he got up and put on a suit and tie. He wanted to wear that to school because he saw himself in that moment that he could be the president of the United States. However, in the past several months, he has been giving me strong indications, although he has not said it out loud, that he wants to vote for a former president, Donald Trump, in this election.
What's wrong with that?
We are constantly talking him off of that ledge. We are constantly defending Vice President Kamala Harris and reinforcing what we experienced under the oppressive conditions, the police brutality, etc.
What oppressive conditions? Can anybody explain what oppressive conditions we were under when Donald Trump was the president? I'll say it again. Can anybody explain what oppressive conditions we were in when Donald Trump was president? I would like to hear or read your comment, because I want to know this.
Etc. that we experienced under the presidency of Donald Trump. We have to continue to reinforce Project 2025 and what that's going to mean for him as a black man in the future. But for some reason, about once a week, we had to talk him off that ledge. I'm not sure what's going on with our young black man. He grew up in a very privileged household. He has had all of his needs met, and maybe because he hasn't had to go a day without health care, he hasn't had to go a day without food and his basic necessities. If his human rights or his educational rights or whatever rights that he is entitled to has ever been breached, we have always been there to advocate for him. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe that privileged life that he has experienced of a young black man has somehow aligned with Donald Trump's privilege. And somehow he sees himself more in him than he does Vice President Kamala Harris. But more importantly, not more importantly, but what really keeps me up at night is that as a black woman, I have always made it a priority to show him the strength of a black woman. I started out as a single mother with him. I went to law school with him. His first day of kindergarten was my first day of law school. So he witnessed me struggle through law school. He witnessed me even after I graduated, started making salary.
She said, get out of here, that her child didn't really want for nothing because, so it sounds like he grew up in a middle-class family, the son. So when you sit back and just look at who he actually can relate with, it would actually be Kamala Harris. Because he grew up in a middle-class family, just like Kamala Harris did. So for him to actually vote against somebody that he can possibly relate with, there must be something else there. That goes to my second point. There's two sides. There's a dichotomy. He probably wasn't always in a middle-class family because she said that she was a single mother before she got married. So there are two different sides of this young man's life. And the fact that he lives with his father and not his mother tells virtually everything I need to know and who he's voting for about this young man. He most likely did not like living under his mom's roof for the main reason where none of us liked living under our mom's roof. Most of us would have loved to live with our father instead of our mothers, male and female. I've been coaching women for the last 7 years. And the number one thing that I learned from years of coaching different women, different walks of life, is that most women, white, totally agree, Nicole, black, not just black, have tumultuous relationships with their mother. She does sound like Kamala 2.0. I'm a black woman and I'm a strong black woman. The fact that he's with his father and is now wise enough to see life for the way it is and actually vote for somebody other than Kamala Harris, I would say, it makes logical sense. The people that hears a person voting Republican, the person literally just falls on the floor like a child and starts screaming like you just threw acid in their face, right? Well, women weaponize catastrophification. I'll say it again. Women weaponize catastrophification. The Democratic Party is feminine and the Republican Party is masculine. That's literally what it is. So when you look at what usually happens between these two parties, one party is extremely overly emotional, and the Democratic Party, and is mainly women. And it goes back to what I said earlier, how mothers, because we're talking about that particular video, a mother being offended that her son thinks differently. It's a mother having a problem with the people up under her thinking differently. And that is a problem with the Democratic Party in itself. And I urge anybody watching to go read the book called You're Not Crazy, It's Your Mother. Has anybody read the book You're Not Crazy, It's Your Mother? Has anybody ever read the book You're Not Crazy, It's Your Mother? Have y'all read it? You're Not Crazy, It's Your Mother. It's a book that literally lists 40 different visceral reactions that women and Democrats have when you actually disagree with them. Is in the 40 things that I'm referring to in the book. Christina, you said you read it, right? So that's what's up. I read the book I'm Not Crazy, It's My Father. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh my God, that's funny. But the 40 visceral things that I was talking about in that video is called narcissistic bingo. Christina said she read the book. In the book, You're Not Crazy, It's Your Mother, they literally have, I would say, 20 to 40 different ways women operate when they're mad, and it's called narcissistic bingo. One of the things is, oh, you're gonna vote for Kamala Harris. Oh, you're not gonna vote for Kamala Harris. You're gonna vote for that white man. You're a racist, or something like that. That's narcissistic bingo. So when women weaponize their womanhood, or when women demonize manhood, that's one of the narcissistic bingo examples in the book called You're Not Crazy, It's Your Mother. Because that book right there, and it was written by a woman, will tell you the turmoil women go through with their actual mothers. Hence the reason why I came out with my mother-daughter card game, in order to help women get out from up under their narcissistic mother. But that right there is it. I am out of here. I hope y'all enjoyed this live stream. And if y'all are just coming in, please watch this from the beginning, because the conversation that me and the brothers had was amazing, because those guys know a lot more about politics than I did. And I think we had an amazing conversation. So, and I let them talk. People like, let them talk, let them talk. I let them talk, and it was great. So I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you, Mr. Lego. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you, Mo Easy. Thank y'all for being here. And to the people that are here that came from the other guy's channel. Thank y'all for being here also. So y'all have a good rest of y'all day. And remember, the shipment is not here. It's 6 o'clock. It may be at my doorstep now, but as of right now, I do not have the mother-daughter shipment yet. So that means the pre-order price for my mother-daughter card game at this particular point is still $62. So make sure to click the link in the chat, click the link under this video, and buy your mother-daughter card game right now, because the second I get that shipment in, I'm gonna go to my Shopify store and I'm changing the price from $62 to $199. And if you don't get your your card, you don't make your purchase quick, you're gonna be mad because the price is gonna change. So y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Talk to y'all later. That will help everyone. I just came up with a solution that will help every woman watching, regardless of age, regardless of background. See, in my 7 years of coaching women, the number one thing that I hear in my coaching sessions is her issue or tumultuous relationship with her mother. So what I've done is come out with a card game that will actually help mothers and daughters come back together. We have to get to the source of a woman's pain, her inadequacies, her insecurities, and heal that little girl inside of her before she goes out in the world as a woman. I call Like Mother, Like Daughter therapy in a box. Therapy in a box is 50 questions for the daughter to ask the mother, questions that you always wanted to ask. And it's also 50 questions for the mother to ask the daughter. But when you're able to ask the questions that you always wanted to ask to your mother without her getting upset, without her pulling rank on you, the lines of communication are now open. When women are finally able to forgive their mother, forgive their father, forgive what happened to them, and most importantly, hear her mother's side of the story that she never divulged to you, relationships outside of the household would then blossom. Because for most women, there's a hurt little girl inside of her that never had an opportunity to be seen or heard. All of the resentment, the lack of being heard, but all that stops when you buy my new Like Mother, Like Daughter card game. Order it now. The link is under this video. Click the link and let's start healing.